Okay, it's back. AMX is back home. But thank God I can start doing some stuff. He did a good job on the brake lines, getting the engine installed, the master cylinder, and the brake booster. But this episode was about, I got a fan that he installed there, and I need to put a fan shroud. So I've got one in the works that I got from the Fresno wrecking yard. Really big wrecking yard. This 90-year-old is running this wrecking yard down in Fresno, south side of Fresno. If you want a part, he's got like a ton of cars down there, like acres and acres of the cars. Anyway, this is what my endeavor for this week or two is going to take. Get the fan shroud on that thing. Alright, bye. How cool is that? You see on that. It says painless on that the positive side of the battery. That's pretty cool. Alright. Well, it's time to see what I have to modify on this thing. This is the fan shroud I got from the Fresno wrecking yard, and then that yellow piece is a piece of metal I cut off of a lawnmower. So anything goes for me, but it's pretty stiff stuff. So that's gonna have to go on. And then my grill, my non-stock grill. But it's better than stock because stock is a piece of junk plastic. So we're going to attempt to fit it all together. I know the grill will fit because it's been in there. Alright, bye. Okay, I figured out where I'm going to cut. I tried to fit this over, but it won't fit over. And then there's radiator hoses I might have to work around too. So I'm just going to cut it in half. I'm gonna cut it here, and all the way on both sides. And then I'm gonna weld a piece on the bottom of that cut and the top of that cut. So with some attachment points, so that it knows where to go back together. All right, bye. Okay, I got that one side cut, and there's a bolt, one bolt through it. It's like a 5/16 bolt, so pretty good bolt. And I got one top of that. I still have to drill a hole, and I'm just gonna cut it and then mend it together. I'm going against my rule already. All right, bye. Well, I decided against that nut that was welded on there. I didn't like it, so I cut it off, and what I'm going to use, and this is it. I lost my tool to collapse it, so I've seen some YouTube videos where you make your own rib nut. So that's what I want to do. I want to put a rib nut, but I have to enlarge that hole to fit it, because you have to always go bigger, because this thing is just, you collapse that, and that serrated part right there, that thing will shrink down, and it acts like a rivet basically, except with a nut. Okay, bye. Some of that urethane sealant to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and then to connect those two pieces right there. But I was trying to peel the tape off, and the tape's been on there for so long that I'm having to use a screwdriver to get to it. So maybe some lacquer thinner, but I'm afraid with lacquer thinner, it starts screwing up paint too. You gotta be careful with lacquer thinner. Well, I got my rib nut in. It was not easy. I did it I didn't do it the way that the other YouTubers did it. I literally used a vise and clamped it because I have access to both sides, so I just put it in my big vise and just start cranking away on it. You would not believe how much effort it takes to do it by a clamp. Okay, bye. The first coat of primer on the top half underside of the fan shroud. It's looking good. I just bought this new primer, off-brand. All right, bye. Okay, top and bottom is primered. I think I'm gonna let it dry. It's towards the end of the day, and let it dry in the overnight, and then apply a top coat tomorrow. All right, bye. Okay, my fan shroud, I'm going to use Bear paint. It's called Orion Gray. I typically use Rust-Oleum, but I'm going to try this out. It looks, and just from visual, it looks, that's what I was going for. So I think it's the right shade, as close as one I've seen. All right, bye. Well, I got the upper part of the fan shroud in. I let it set overnight. It was glossy when I painted it, but the coldness of the night air, it makes it matte. So I don't know if I'm going to leave it like that or put another coat, because it's definitely not as glossy as that is. But it's a pretty good match. Alright, bye. Oh, this is the brace for the passenger side on the AMX. I had to make this because there's a radiator the inlet to the radiator to fill it. I had to bend it around, so I added this piece of rebar and this piece of a chain, so that's the way I roll. Anything will work. But I cleaned up pretty good, got it sanded down. You can kind of tell, you can see all the etchings on it for the rebar, but wouldn't believe I kept on having to lengthen a little bit. Luckily I just tacked it. I cut the tack like about 2 times to get it the right length. I think I finally got it. And then this other end of this is another story here, because it had a welded nut on the original. I want to do the same thing here, but whenever I put a bolt through that nut, and when I tacked it, I tacked it too much, because I got a little bead on this side of the bolt. So I tried to take it out and then marred the nut up. So I had to cut the nut off, and this is the second nut going on this thing. So, but I eventually got it. That's the important part. All right. Bye. Okay, the passenger side is on. See what I mean by I had to bend it to miss the radiator cap, and this is pretty much lined up right here. I'm just missing a bolt. And then the question is, which looks better, the gray, the Orion Gray, to match that on these bars, or just black like that one? That's the question. Anybody give me a comment. Tell me what's your preference, gray or black. All right, bye. Tail end of the train.